This is the Introduction to Science Research Mentos Experiment video. So what we expect to happen is that Mentos will be dropped into water and no reaction will occur. Mentos will also be dropped into sugar water and no reaction will occur. However, when the Mentos is dropped into the seltzer, a chemical reaction will happen. And this is the footage we have of our experiment.
So as you can see for our experiment, we have water, which we put in a glass container, sugar, which is in a graduated cylinder, a whole bunch of Mentos, some seltzer, cups, and a bunch of notebooks so we can record all the information. So this is our experiment. What's happening is that we're going to be setting up 3 different liquids, I believe. One's going to be plain water, one's going to be sugared water, and one's going to be seltzer. We're just going to drop Mentos in those and see what happens then. This is the first one, water, and you've got all the Mentos in this graduated cylinder. We're just going to drop it in. All right, now let's go. Come on. Nope, nothing.
It didn't react, so we know that sugar is not the cause for the eruption in Coke.
Now we're doing Mentos dropped into plain, regular water, which is our control.
Alright. We've got 5 Mentos just like last time, and it's basically the same thing. We're looking for a reaction. Yeah, go. And nothing.
No reaction.
In the sugar water, nothing happened to the Mentos. In the regular water, nothing happened to the Mentos. Now we're testing the Mentos in seltzer,
Which is carbonated water.
Alright.
let's make sure it's lined up.
Is it lined up? Yeah, go out, let's go.
Woo! Yeah!
Reaction, they don't have very big reaction.
Still reaction.
It's still going, actually.
It's a reaction. But, yeah. So what we can conclude from this is that carbonation does affect the reaction. However, it is not just that, because the guys over there at the wall, they're using just soda and they got so much of a bigger reaction. That thing was pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
So there's definitely more factors that go into this, and maybe we'll look into those later.
Yeah. Which they probably are the many chemicals that are in soda.
Such as phosphoric acid, which we couldn't get because it was very rare.
And
caffeination, which is also very important. But yeah, so much more variables, and hopefully we'll be able to test a whole bunch more.
From our experiment, we concluded that carbonation aids in the reaction between Mentos and Diet Coke, but it's not the only contributor to the reaction. We hypothesized that the chemicals in Diet Coke have something to do with the reaction. Water, being our control group, had no effect. The sugar also did not affect the Mentos. There were many sources of error in our experiment that could have contributed to an inaccurate conclusion. We did not use the same amount of liquids. Also, when we unscrewed the cap of the seltzer, it released some air before we were able to drop the Mentos in. This might have affected the chemical reaction that took place between the Mentos and the seltzer. And that concludes our presentation.